About 50 miles south of Tripoli are the Nafusa Mountains. The towns and cities in the ridgeline are the last bastion of organised resistance to Colonel Gaddafi's forces in the west. We were refused permission to visit, but our trip to the south took us through the Gaddafi lines. On the edge of towns deemed to be troublesome, uncamouflaged tanks guard roads in and out. This is Garian. The tank is parked on an intersection used by civilians living nearby. There are continuous checkpoints. Even our minders had to seek permission to pass from increasingly nervy soldiers. Anti-aircraft guns support them as they look in every car that uses the road. The army is using civilian cars to move its men. A convoy of brand new saloons was filled with soldiers. They're also camouflaging their weaponry from air attacks, gun-mounted pickup trucks escorting a lorry, its cargo covered in hay. The reason for the subterfuge is this. These are thought to be the only pictures of NATO airstrikes in the west of Libya. For 24 hours, jets bombed a military base a few kilometres from the town of Mizda, 125 miles south of Tripoli. A hit ammunition dump sending ordnance into the sky. This was a continuous pounding of one of Colonel Gaddafi's main bases, filmed by staff at a nearby hospital. And this was the effect. The military have withdrawn. The hospital, large and modern, is deserted. Artillery shells set off by the air attack hit houses in Mizda, setting them on fire. Much of the local population has left. Mizda is a garrison town and it remains very much one. We've seen an awful lot of military vehicles, some of which are following and protecting other vehicles with suspicious amounts of hay on top. It would suggest that armaments are being moved around on the main highway. What's interesting here, though there are people, it is still incredibly quiet. The sense one gets is that many of the ordinary civilians have left, fearing yet another airstrike. Those who haven't gone queue for petrol. Despite government denials, they're now part of daily life here. And even in Mizda, anti-Gaddafi graffiti has had to be whitewashed from government buildings, a tangible sign of some resistance, and we've seen it in every rebel town. The government certainly fears the rebellion rising again, perhaps from the Nafusa Mountains, and that's why, over 100 miles from the capital, the clampdown goes on. Stuart Ramsay, Sky News, Mizda.